Hey 5D family, I'm going to be sharing with you the energies of this full moon on May 26th and going deeper into a personal reading to the houses that are going to be affected for each sign. So feel free to skip ahead for your personal reading. So it's a full moon in Eclipse in Sagittarius, and the key moon energies are turnarounds, liberation, releasing, crumbling. There is a huge eclipse, and there's a very difficult aspect as well with Mercury and Venus. So this could bring up situations with money, with love. So pay attention during this full moon for what shows up for you and what's being reflected back for you in these areas of your life, for you to heal, for you to level up in these areas. And since Venus is involved here, it could be a heart connection that is calling to be released. This could be a breakup or a letting go of an old trauma or from an ex that has still an energetic hold on you from years ago. Neptune is around, so this adds a little bit of confusion extra for this Mercury Venus clash. The energy does ease up a few days later when Mercury harmonizes with Venus. So, as you're moving through this full moon, the moments, just trust in the shifting and things falling into place with more flow and ease in the next coming days after the 26th. So, a recommended activity that I have is making a list of the things, the people, the places that you could release from the past, present, and future that could be blocking you from manifesting the harmony with Mercury and Venus. And this energy is about passion, winning, strength, partnerships, intensity. So, whatever comes to your mind and your heart around this, this is a perfect time to do releasing work for this full moon. And of course, I'm very connected to hair ceremonies, so I would invite you to cut a symbolic piece of your hair during this time if you're not ready for a full haircut. And when you are cutting your hair, you can think of all these things falling away from you. As the hair falls onto the floor, so do the cords, so do the attachments, and you can think of a way that you would like to honor these experiences, and you can bury them, release them in earth, in air, in fire, in water, in any of the elements that you feel most drawn to, that you feel would be a very beneficial symbolic release. So let's get into the interpretation. So skip ahead. You can find your rising, your moon sign, your sun sign on lots of free websites like astro.com. So you can just find out which resonates to you and then skip ahead. There's going to be timestamps below. So let's start with Aries, and this is in your ninth house, Aries. So this is related to study, to travel, to adventure, and there is activated self growth here. There could be shadow work coming up for you, opening yourself up to the world and healing in a way so you can focus inwards. And since we can't be traveling at this moment, you could bring the world to you and fill your home with places that inspire you with joy. If you know where your Jupiter or Venus lines are on the earth, this could be amazing for you to bring into your home. So finding out where your Venus lines, where your Jupiter lines are, these are the most lucky auspicious signs or lines on your astro map. So that would be really great to bring that into your home. And if you don't know where your Venus and Jupiter lines are, you could book an astrocartography reading with me. I love, love, love this type of astrology. Is my favorite type of reading to do, and I'll put a link below so you can find it and you can book a session with me if you want to. So Taurus, this is in your eighth house, and this is the area of about sex and about money. So if you're feeling like your love life, your heart chakra, your sacral chakra needs some activation, you might want to do something new in this area and kind of get out of your comfort zone or heal any areas that you feel could be bringing some struggle around any power dynamics in your relationships in your life. Settling old debts is a very powerful thing for you to do as well, because this energy is all about money too, and how the money of others. So getting it clean for both sides is very beneficial. It's about giving, it's about receiving, and allowing the abundance to flow for you in that kind of manner. So some and breathing exercise that you can do to help activate this is breathing in for 5 and breathing out for 5. And as you're doing these slow inhale exhales, you could be saying a mantra like, I breathe in love and abundance. I breathe out love and abundance. And doing this for a few minutes, setting an alarm with a peaceful alarm at the end could be helpful so you know when your allotted time is done. There's also an app called insight timer, which is really great as well. And it's really fun. This app, you can see who else is meditating in the world with you. So that could be really neat. I'll put a link to that in the description below. Gemini, this is happening in your seventh house, and this house deals with love and relationships. So if you're single, this could be a good time to energize your love life. If you are in a relationship, then this could be a time to add some flame, some spark into your life, some fresh energy for you and your partner. And regardless if you are single, if you are partnered, if you are looking for a heart connection or not, I would encourage you to take a look inwards and just develop that really loving relationship with yourself, and to fall in love with yourself, doing something like buying flowers for yourself, taking like a nice bath, just really being loving and kind to yourself. So this energy is also about creativity, kids, fur babies. So you could pick one of these areas that resonates most to you in your life right now, and what you do to bring some activation to this life. This could be doing some training with your fur baby, doing like some fun walk excursions, or doing some fun activities with a child in your life, or looking at the inner child, your own inner child, and remembering what brought you joy in your childhood, and doing some activities that you really loved to do when you were a child. And you can go through some old photo albums and find some photos of you as a child where you just looked so full of joy, and really activating and making that child, that inner child of you, come alive again. There's a lot of creative energy here for you in this house. So you could be called to start a new creative project. This would be very auspicious, a very good time to do that. Some, activation of the solar plexus, sacral chakra energy. This is this house for you right now. Virgo, this is in your fourth house, and this house deals with your personal life, your romantic partnerships, your family, the people who feel like family, and your home. So this is a time to work on what is maybe not working for you in this house, or where you could find some more support in organization, or some clear boundaries with the family around you and in your home. So this has to do with your physical home, right? So this could be moving, buying, selling, doing some organizing, doing some feng shui to balance the energy of your home, so you can just tap into that and see what is flowing, releasing anything that is broken or not being used, donating that to somebody else maybe that could use that if it's still in working order but just not resonating with you anymore. So just taking care of all those aspects for you in this house would be a very auspicious thing for you to do. Libra, this is happening in your third house, and this house deals with attraction in what you want to do, and a powerful time for visualizations, creating a vision board. You could take a look at a life coaching wheel and see how your life is balanced in terms of the different areas in your life, like your career, your love, your hobbies, your health, spirituality, your home, your family, finances. So this house has to do with communication as well. So this would be a wonderful time to take a look at learning a modality like nonviolent communication. And this was developed by Marshall Rosenberg. And there are so many YouTube videos on practicing this technique. One of my favorite NVC coaches has a channel called A Cup of Empathy, and she has hours of free real life example applications of how to use NVC. So you can put on your giraffe ears, take off your jackal ears. And if you don't know what this means, once you start learning NVC, nonviolent communication, this will make sense. And I'm excited for you to dive into this technique and just learn more about nonviolent communication for listening, for speaking to others, and also for yourself. Scorpio, this is happening in your second house, and this is all about money, possessions, finances, how you make your money. So this is a time to think of terms of maximum abundance and how this relates to you in your world. So this could be donating things that you love but no longer resonate with you and could bring joy to somebody else's life. This could be about releasing possessions, and also on the balancing side of that, what possessions, 3D material things are you wanting to call in for yourself? And if there are any limiting beliefs around attaining them, you could write them down. You could write down the limiting beliefs that you have been, you know, narrating to yourself, and release them, and asking yourself what kind of qualities could you bring in for the abundance, for magnetizing that energy, for ease, for possibility, creative solutions. So tap into that during this full moon to help you achieve all that you want in the 3D for your highest good. Sagittarius, this is happening in your first house, and this is a chance to reflect on every area of your life. If there's an area that is really thriving for you, really flowing for you, you could take time to celebrate this and really have gratitude for all the opportunities and the synchronicities that have come together to make things fall in place for you like they have in this area. And during this full moon, it would be really helpful to take a look at the part of your life or parts of your life that you might have been neglecting in order to create that thriving area. So if you want to create a little bit more balance, shift some attention and some energy to an area that you'd like to activate that you might have been avoiding. That would be a really helpful thing to do. A quote that is so dear to my heart, and it's an Ayurvedic technique or kind of modality or therapy, is what you want to avoid is the medicine. So just think about that for a moment. And if there's anything in your life that has felt a little bit difficult that you didn't really want to get into, that might be the thing. That might be the thing to tap into this during this full moon. So, Capricorn, this is happening in your 12th house, and this is an interesting house, and this is one that's a little bit more complicated than the other ones. You might have been feeling a bit exhausted. There has been a lot of activating energies during this time in your chart, and this house is about all matters hidden and spiritual. So, during this time, you might be wanting to retreat from the world, get in touch with yourself, and you could benefit from taking some alone time in nature, committing to a meditation practice, microdosing or macrodosing with some plant medicine to get some teachings to just alter and shake up the field that you're in order to get some fresh insight and downloads from the universe and from your higher self. I have an ebook on microdosing if you're interested in taking a look at that. I'm so passionate about the topic of plant medicine. There is just so much healing and opportunity for diving deep into our shadow selves and also just creating more flow and peace with that. Aquarius, this is happening in your 11th house, and this has to do with friends and what you have been wishing for. So, this is a powerful time to make alliances, to make some connections to people who have some beautiful soul connections with you. You could do some meditation on what type of souls you would like to journey with during this life in all the areas. So, in your work life, in your health, in your spirituality, in your hobbies, just really taking some time to manifesting some helpful, beautiful souls into your life. This is an amazing time for networking for you, for putting good karma points in. If you are in a position to help somebody else out, you're planting seeds for your future self and finding balance between giving and creating space for somebody to be a blessing into your life. So just being mindful during this time to pay attention to your diet, what you're eating, what you're surrounding yourself with, making sure you stay nourished with a plant-based, non-inflammatory food diet to keep your energies up during this potentially really busy time that is activated for you during this full moon. Pisces is happening in your 10th house, and this has to do with your personal. Pisces, this is happening in your 10th house, and this has to do with your professional life and what you are studying at this moment. So during this time, you could take a look at what you could do to level up in this area of your life. Are there any courses that you could take? Are there some mentors that you could seek out? Making sure that you're in alignment with the career that you're in right now, and just asking you some questions about what is your soul's calling. And if you're doing what your soul calling is right now, that is fantastic. You could ask yourself how you could make this even more meaningful, or perhaps there's something that you were more inspired to do and taking some opportunities to take some courses in order to um, go forward into that direction. So just really taking a moment to ask yourself those questions of, is this inspiring to you, and is this your heart's calling? Time to make a bold move in order to get alignment with your professional dreams. Thank you for watching 5D family. I hope this gave you some insight, and I will have another video for you about the June noon moon and also the full moon that is coming up next month. And if you would like an astrocartography reading done for you, please reach out for a session and book with me in the link below, and join me on Patreon as well for a monthly 5D challenge. Have a beautiful day. Happy full moon in Sagittarius.